Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last stream of 2022. I see quite a few people joining in already. I see Ascent, Bookmonger, and a tier 1 sub from Brian1321. Thanks for joining in, guys. As you can see from the stream title down below, we are building the Fox Lab Sunset 80, soon to grow into group buy. You guys can figure out and read all about it using the build command and following the link at clickclack.io. So this is a board that's about to go on group buy on clickclack.io. Clickclack is really making a killing these days with such amazing boards. You know, they're the ones who sold the Vertex Angle, now the Vertex Arc 60, and this is their latest one, the Sunset 80. This is a gasket mounted board. You can choose to go PCB mounted, or you can do it with the plate, whatever way you want. It can be built either way. Because I was so successful with a foamless Arc 60, I kind of want to replicate that on this board, even though, you know, it's a completely different board. It's probably not built the same, but we'll see how this sounds without any type of foam. As you can see, there is a weight on the bottom as well, and a Damascus, titanium Damascus, I guess it's a weight / accent piece as well. So I got the silver one, if you guys caught my unboxing. Yeah, 1.2 millimeter PCB, wind keyless only. Yeah, it looks like that. Looks absolutely gorgeous, and it should be selling for roughly 480 bucks. You guys can also look at the Geekhack page for other details. So there's the ClickClack page and there's the Geekhack page as well. They've got a few more pictures here, as you can see. The front of it, right above the arrow cluster, is this little sunset-like LED. But yeah, lots of different colors available. You guys can check it out. If you guys caught my unboxing, I did notice that in terms of anodization, it wasn't as nice as the Vertex Arc 60, but also like the Arc 60, all of the defects that I found were internal. So unless you open up your board and look at it very closely, you won't see it. Yeah, looking very good. Whew, it's heavy. Oh my. Yeah, I got the silver one. Look at that. Yeah. I have so many nice TKLs. I just wish that I loved TKLs more. Look at that. So I haven't quite, well, actually I've decided on a key set already, but I don't know if it will work 100%. I guess we'll find out tonight once I actually build it. But yeah, you guys can find out the same time I do. But yeah, let's get to building this guy. Let's get to building this guy. Yes, I have not seen any of the colors in person because they only sent me the silver one. But yeah, as you guys can see, as usual, I went with a, well, I have a hot swap PCB and I've already pre-populated it with OwlLab V2 stabilizers. I'm not a fan of overly flexible boards, so I'm not going to go with plateless. I'm actually going to put a polycarb plate on it. I would imagine that I already find plateless 65% a little bit too flexy for my preferences, so I'd imagine a longer board such as a TKL would accentuate that flexiness. So I figure it would be best if I put on a plate, even if it's only polycarb. I think I would have preferred carbon fiber or aluminum, but this will do. So you guys can see the gaskets will be sandwiching the PCB, not the plate itself. And in terms of what switches I'm using tonight, to color match with the Damascus titanium, I figured I'd pick blue switches. And no, not the clicky blue switches that everyone always thinks about, but rather JWK Bluey switches, courtesy of Divinikey. So this is here. Let me paste it for you guys. But available on Divinikey. This is a JWK and Divinikey collab switch, actually. There you go, you guys can see that. And it is a nylon top, nylon bottom with an extended P3 stem. And when I first unboxed this, I noticed that this was extremely smooth, typical of JWK switches. So these will be completely straight from the factory, no lube, no nothing. Love a full nylon switch. Yeah, me too. But yeah, let's start off the build. And yes, the key set will also be a shade of blue. I figured I'd do a blue build. Blue build tonight and see where that takes us. My only problem with flexible PCBs such as, or with flexible plates such as this, is that sometimes, if not done properly, or if it's too flexible, it doesn't seem to stay in place. So hopefully I don't run into that issue tonight. Fingers crossed. Yeah, these are supposed to be 58G long spring, so that should feel closer to a 67 of sorts, in my experience. Oh, in the past, people have asked me, like, Merlin, how do you know what the weight is going to feel like? Like, is there a formula? I'm like, no, there's no formula. It's just from experience. And we're down to the last 3 switches. And we're done. Board has all switches in. We can now go to putting the hot swap gaskets on, sorry, not the hot swap gaskets, the gaskets on the chassis. That's what I meant to say. And look, I've got a few switches extra in case any of these switches turn out to be garbage. There we go. Whew. So my favorite TKL to date so far has been the Space 80 and the Mr. Suit. Like, hopefully this one will be of the same caliber. Hopefully this will be of the same caliber, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Yeah, I wish that I would have gotten in on the Space 80 group buy, or rather, I wish that I would have had the money to join in on it. So, one cool thing about this board is that they give you an instruction manual, like an actual hard copy instruction manual. Sometimes it's just like a QR code. And this one is in both English and Mandarin. See, install gaskets onto the top case and bottom case. Be careful not to stretch the gaskets too much and pay attention to the notch corresponding to the pinholes. There we go. Nice. The green Mr. Frog isn't very green. I have nuclear data on it and it looks gray. Oh yeah. We have... Nope, that's the feet. What's this one? Here we go. Here are the gaskets. XD Jared joining in. Thanks for joining in. Gasket. So the gaskets all look to be the same size, but one of them seems to have holes for, or notches, I guess, for the pins. So we will avoid putting those in first. That's the kind of green I want. The emery green. Yeah, it's like a nice lush green. Start with the bottom case. Pardon me while I obstruct the view with my hat. Why is it calling this a tofu? There's no actually... There's no tofu PCB. It's always like a DZ60 or something. DZ60 or maybe a... What is... Does the tofu USB port, is it big enough to accommodate Mini B? Because if it is, the GH60 might still be around for it. There we go. Right, bottom case has all the gaskets in. Easy peasy. Now for the hard one. Standardized PCBs. I like it when companies use a standard daughter board, like unlike this guy, unlike the Foxeye one, that looks very much like an AI03 daughter board, but it is not. It looks to be a bit wider than one, so it's not going to be pin compatible. It's not going to be swappable with an AI03 one, because even like the screw mounting points are different. No, this is not a prototype. Why do you ask, Honest Abe? Are you seeing something that worries you? Hat stream, yeah. I suppose I could wear my glasses so I don't have to, you know, lean in so far. Here. So buy 3 PCBs with the board. No, I'm pretty sure the daughter board still has the protections. Wear those magnifying mini painter's glasses. Yeah, I guess I'll just wear my glasses for the stream. There we go. That actually is much better. I don't wear my glasses very often. But it does make a big difference. Everything is much sharper. You guys look so much better these days. Alright, have all the gaskets in. We can assemble the board now. AD Penrose also joining in. Thanks for joining in. Alright, here. This is a little bit interesting to assemble, so let me show it. Let me show how it's done. It's kind of weird. Looks like this guy has to go in through there. Like so. And then he needs to plug in. Raiders came in with viruses. Oh man. No, it's absolutely Comcast. Let's not make any excuses here for them. It's definitely Comcast. And unfortunately, I can't get fiber in my era, so I am limited to whatever they give me. Okay, let me just align the plate or the PCB and plate properly, and then we can put it on the bottom. There we go. And like I said, I'm not using any foam on this build. No foam at all. So hopefully that is a good decision. There we go. There we go. That's not, well, it's like a small cutout, but it's not a hole. I'd say it's more of like an indentation than anything. Because like a hole would mean you could like go all the way through, but that's not the case here. Alright, it's built. Like I said earlier, I am putting on PBT Atmosphere, so I'm trying to look for a looking for a blue set. All my other blue sets are currently taken. I have Cannon Caps Alpine on my Q2. I have nice PBT Navy on my 7V. So like all my blue sets are done. Like I figure I could use Mizu. Should I use Mizu? What do you guys think? Should I use GMK Mizu or should I use PBT Atmosphere? What do you guys think? Because the only reason why is because I wanted to match that. But you know, the blue is on the back of the board. It's not like I'll see it. See, atmosphere, atmosphere, wow, that is a lot of atmospheres. And plus, if you guys remember the last time I used atmosphere, it was on a 65%, so I felt like it didn't really do the gradient any justice. Atmosphere matches the theme better. Yeah, I would agree with that. Atmosphere does match the theme better. But the question is, what theme are we talking about? Right? Yeah, you know what? Let's just see if I like the sound first. We can always change keycaps later. delivers in like Q2 or 3. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna have to agree that PBT atmosphere on a silver board looks really good. I really dig this look. I'm glad I didn't go with Mizu. I'm glad I did not go with Mizu on this one, because this one just looks excellent. Look at that, guys. Here, let me show it on the A-roll. The face cam. This is Milky Way, yes. Let's see, how does it sound? How does it feel? Okay, it actually feels what I expected it to be. Really smooth. But sound-wise, I am a little bit disappointed. It's not a bad sound, but it just sounds meh. Let's see, is there any hollowness I can hear? See, there is some case hollowness that I can hear. And if I can remedy that by putting in case foam. But like I said, I didn't want to put any case foam, or I didn't want to put any foam in this build. There we go, I can hear some hollowness right there. Let's do an official typing test. Let me just put away my glasses really quick. Here, let me dim my lights a little bit so that you guys can see that sunset logo. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Here, let's see if I can show it. Let's see. Yeah, it looks real nice. It looks real nice in person. This keyboard does look good. Just that I don't think the way I built it makes it sound very good. I just set the LED to like a dim orange or red. Yes, that's actually a very good idea. Or like a blue, you know, just to match the blue colorway. Hopefully the GB's up soon. Yeah, it's gonna be like a $480-ish board. Less than 500, but not by much. Let's see. You know what? We got time. It's my last stream of the year. I'm gonna put in some case foam, see if it helps with the hollowness. It may not change how I feel about the board, but at least I can get rid of this hollowness. Alright. Here you go. Did that improve the sound at all? It's still hollow sounding. Okay, maybe it's a little bit better, but yeah, I'm still not 100% satisfied. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad sound, it's just not my preferred sound. Like, honestly speaking, like, okay, some people may be watching the stream being like, oh, Merlin doesn't like the sound, which is true, but don't immediately assume that that means it's a bad sounding board. It could just be the way that I built it and everything, because all in all, I think this still sounds better than my Jane. Here, let me show you my Jane. One of my favorite boards, not necessarily because I think it sounds really good or like anything, but just because of, you know, of how I got it. See, this is my Jane, built with the brass plate back when I was into brass, and with linear switches. Not linear switches, but linear switches. They're the, I think what the KS3s were like based on. See, I no longer like this sound. I prefer this sound over that. I need to rebuild this Jane at some point, but being a USB Mini B board kind of makes me like, I feel like even if I do rebuild it, what's the point? I no longer have a USB Mini B cable, right? All my boards are C at this point, except for this guy. Oh, I'm just kind of like, what's the point? This is just like a display piece at this time. Yeah, I know. Icky, but at one point of time, all boards had USB Mini B. So I still prefer the sound and feel of this over my Jane, to be honest. Alright, we can do one more typing sounds, and we can, I can give a quick initial take on this board. There we go. So once again, this was the Fox Labs Sunset 80, built with a PC plate, JWK Bluey switches, with only the case foam or slash anti-static pad, if you will, topped with PBT atmosphere, manufactured by Milky Way. See, Brian says, I can't tell if it sounds different or if you just placed it down differently from the mic. Probably that. Who knows? Who knows? To my ears, it does sound a little bit different. Some of the hollowness has like disappeared, but I'm still not 100% happy with the sound. Like overall, the board looks beautiful. Like this is the aesthetic that I look for when it comes to TKLs. This RGB on top here as a sunset looks gorgeous to me, especially like the back and like the Damascus styled weight. Absolutely beautiful board, but personally when it comes to the sound, I'm not sold. Like I'm not unhappy with it. I'm maybe like, if this was considered Merlin is 100% happy, I'd probably say I'm at 75, possibly 80% on this, you know. Once you type on a really good sounding board like this, and then you kind of like the next board that you go for, you're trying to compare it to the last board you built that you were really happy with. So maybe that's what's happening. I wonder if I had built something else. Like maybe if I had built this after the Vertex Angle R2, I'd be like, oh, this is a really good sounding board, but who knows? Overall, if you guys caught my unboxing, board is manufactured very well. It did have a lot of anodization, streaking, and all that, but only on the internals. Like if you actually tore apart the board, took out the weight, and examined all of the nooks and crannies, you'd see some of that streaking, some of the miscolored anodization and all that. But on the outside was immaculate, you know? So nothing to worry on that front. If I could rebuild this board again, I'd probably go with higher pitch switches. Like the ones that I have right now I'd probably go with Duroc Palms or JWK Oolongs. That would probably get closer to my ideal sound when it comes to boards like these, but who knows. But yeah, overall, I am happy with the board. It's just, like earlier, we kept talking about the Mr. Suit. It's no Mr. Suit. If you're looking for that sound, if you're looking for that feel, it's no Mr. Suit. But aesthetically speaking, I would say this is on par or better than the Mr. Suit. Aesthetically speaking. Just because, you know, that Damascus weight, or I guess it's not the Damascus weight, it's the Damascus accent, just, whew, looks so nice. You may see that there are splotches on the weight. That's because I haven't pulled off the plastic, mainly because I'm Asian, if you know what I mean. Like, even my Mr. Suit still has the plastic on it. Beavis says sounds great. I'm assuming you're talking about the Q2. Q2 is awesome. It's got KS9s on it, by the way. HR Logic says forever new. Yeah, for sure. My parents had a TV that had plastic on it for like 6 years. So I'm very happy with the typing feel, actually. This feels really good. Putting a PC plate in really did firm up the board to my preferences. However, I'm not happy with the sounds that it's coming out of. I was talking earlier how the ARC 60, if the ARC 60 was maybe like I was 100% happy with it, I'd say this is more like 70 to 80% happiness. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is my last live stream of 2022. That's not to say that there won't be any more YouTube content. I have at least 2 more videos coming out before the end of the year, but this is my last live stream. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Hope to see you all next year, but keep an eye on YouTube for additional content. And also, unfortunately, I don't know when the Sunset 80 is going to be live on Group Buy, but I'm expecting maybe mid-January. Who knows? Probably around the same time that the ARC 60 R2 comes out, so you'll have to choose between if you want a TKL or a 60%. But yeah, thanks guys for joining in. Hope you guys have a great Christmas and a great New Year's. Hope you have a good time spending it with family and eating lots of good food. Alright guys, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye everyone.